at stake, that's what we need for the want to. But whatever it is that moves you, know that it's about our children. I've come to the realization that we've got to get high-stakes testing out of our classrooms. We got to let our teachers teach. We got to have our students learn. What kind of system is it when we take 3 hours, 1 day of the year, and say that's all a child's worth? And our teachers' unions know it. Our teachers know it. That's why I've called an end for that high-stakes testing. That's a little bit of the 1-2. The other bit of the 1-2. Let's talk, this is Labor Day. How many ladies and men who have daughters and wives and moms, don't you think it's about time that women get equal pay for equal work? That's a little bit of the 1-2. As Lieutenant Governor, I would make sure that we would do everything possible to again pass that bill, because we've already passed it once in a conservative House, conservative Senate. We passed it. But this time, we'll pass it so that Governor Wendy Davis can sign it into law. I want to say thank you for everything that you've done. But I'm going to thank you for everything you're going to do, because we're going to need more. That want to means you got to knock on more doors. That means you got to make more phone calls. That means you got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, right? Because let's face it, union families, you're going to vote. You're going to vote. But what we need to do is make sure that you talk to people you go to church with. You talk to people, okay, at the grocery store. You talk to people, Friday night football's here. You go talk to them at the football game. Do not be afraid. You know why? Because it's too much at stake. There's too much at stake for our children. Folks, I'm running against somebody from Houston that y'all know very well. Yeah. He takes liberties at times with history. He had the audacity to tell someone this past week being that he was responsible for restoring the cuts to education. Whoa. I know. He voted against the budget. Voted against it. And we did a little bit, but we didn't do all, right? We only restored $30 million of the $200 million in cuts to pre-K, yet we know our littlest ones deserve the best shot at a successful future. We got to get all of that money back. But he said, oh, I'm responsible for it. I'm responsible. The only thing he wants to be responsible for is a school system dedicated to vouchers and privatization. My answer, let's work to have a public education so that all our neighborhood schools are strong, that all children, no matter where they live, have that opportunity. That's what, as Texans, we value. Oh, and then he'll talk about how he is so worried about transportation. So why did he vote against the transportation funds that are going to be voted on this November, right? Does he not know he lives in Houston, Texas? $10 million in cost to our economy because of congestion. If we have a 21st century transportation system, people can get to and from work, and we know that we can sell more goods. And guess what? That's jobs. It's jobs. It's jobs. He voted against it. How about water? Oh, it was good to have a little water this morning, but we've got to make sure that we've got water so we have the economy and the jobs for the future. So let's just keep it simple here. Number one, the infrastructure has got to happen. Roads, bridges, water projects, and the infrastructure of opportunity. The stuff that gives our kids that gonus to go on, and that's our public education system. And then when we get them to and through that public school system, they got to go to a post-high school something, right? 55% of the jobs in 2020 are going to require a post-high school something. Training program, certification program, an apprenticing, a technical school, an associate's degree, community college, or a four-year institution. And that's why I've called, because I know that Texas Texans will invest. They said yes to the water. I'm hoping that they'll say yes to the roads. I'm calling for Texas to approve something called the Promise Plan. You see, we have this lush rainy day fund. It's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger because the oil and gas economy is not stopping. We could take a one-time allocation of $2 billion from that rainy day fund, and we could pay for every single high school graduate that's qualified to attend a 2-year university, a college, a technical program, a certification program. One-time allocation of $2 billion could change a generation, and we know they need that help at that certification program, that training program, that associate's degree. We could do it. We could do it, and we know that most of the jobs are going to require it. This state needs bold leadership. We don't need the same old, and we don't need to elect Republicans that want to take us back for women, take us back on health care, take us back on education. We need somebody that's going to look them in the eye and say, no, you don't. We're protecting our kids. And ladies, it's about us. It's about us. So I'm going to leave you today with a challenge, particularly to all those women. You see, my mama is 82, retired school teacher. Daddy was a veteran. But it was my mama who told my sisters and I that we could possibly be the first generation of women that wouldn't be defined by who we were married to or who our daddy was. She said, honey, y'all are going to have the ability to go to college, to do what you need to do to help your family. Yep, she said, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. She said, because as women, if you take that responsibility, you can no more say, oh, my daddy won't let me or my husband don't like it. Right? If we as women, if we're going to own up, then we've got to put it out there, and we've got to understand that it is for the next generation, that we don't have excuses. So mama had it right. It's not easy. How many single moms are there out there? We do it for our kids. And so for our ladies, I know you know how to organize. I know our men are going to work really hard. I know our young people, look how many young people are here today. That's why we're going to win. So my challenge to all of you is when you're just a little bit more tired, when you say, oh no, I can't, I want you to think about those soldiers this morning, members of the National Guard, who had to suck up their pride to go ask for food and say, we got to change this. When you're too tired to make that one more phone call, I want you to think about that 4-year-old whose door to her pre-kindergarten class has been shut because the Republicans refused to put in an investment. When you're tired, I want you to think about that senior citizen who can't go to get health care, right? Because, oh no, Governor Perry said no to the Medicaid expansion, even though it would have created 200,000 jobs. So when you get real tired, I want you to think about that. And when you think you just can't make one more phone call, you can't walk, you can't send one more email, you can't tweet one more tweet, I want you to look in the eyes of your children. I want you to look in the eyes of your grandchildren. And you think, I'm doing it for them. Democrats, let's do it for them. Let's do it for the next generation. And I promise you, we will have a Texas to be proud of. We will have a Texas that will be the envy of the world with an educated, diversified workforce that can absolutely secure that next generation. Que Diosito te bendiga. Y Dios y Texas. Muchísimas gracias. I love you. Thank you so much to Labor. Thank you, John. Thank you, all of you. Andy, I love you. I love you. Where are you?